one of the things of your curriculum is actually to be able to understand how perimeter and area are related to one another. Sometimes they can give you a fixed area and ask you to work out all the possible perimeters. And sometimes they can give you a fixed perimeter and ask you to work out all the possible areas. So they can swap that around as they want. So let's say that the perimeter of these four-sided figures is always 24. It's only whole numbers that are possible. So how could we easily work out all the different possibilities? This is where it's very useful to work out half of 24. If we work out what half of 24 is, that means that I've got 12 centimetres. It means that this length and this breadth together, L plus B, one of them, L plus B, end up equaling 12 centimetres. So now it's really easy for me to work out all my different possibilities. I just have to think of what whole numbers add up to give me 12. So let's say I can't have 12 and 0 because then it wouldn't be a rectangle at all, would it? It would just be a straight line. So I could start with 11 and 1. So my length could be 11 and my breadth could be 1 centimetre. Okay? 11 plus 1 would give me 12. If this was 11 and this was 1, all together it would be 11 plus 1, which would be 12, and 12 times 2 would give me 24. So that one works. So let's work out, just to make sure we're not making a silly mistake here, let's work out 2 times what L plus B is. That would be 2 times 11 plus 1, which would be 2 times 12, which would be 24. So this one works. Okay, what do we do now? Well, we're trying to do it in a structured way. So let's reduce this 11 by 1 down to 10, because I can't go up, I can't go from 12. So if this one goes down 1, what does this one have to do? Up 1, because 10 plus 2 will give me 12. And 2 times 10 plus 2 would give me 2 times 12, which would be 24. So that would be right too. So I'll have a pattern now. I can see my pattern. I'll go down 1, up 1. Down 1, up 1. Down 1, up 1. And I'd finish off with 6, 6. I could carry on then and do 5, 7, 4, 8, but that would just be the same thing. It would just be that the rectangle, instead of lying down like that, would be up on its side. It'd still be the same rectangle. Okay? So now we have all the different possibilities quite easily. Because we took half of the rectangle, we got all the different possibilities of length and breadth in a very simple way. So if we were to look at the perimeters of these triangles, we know that they're all going to be 9 plus 3 is 12, 12 times 2 is 24. 8 plus 4 is 12, 12 times 2 is 24. 7 plus 5 is 12, 12 times 2 is 24. 6 plus 6 is 12, 12 times 2 is 24. So all of these rectangles, and the last one is actually a square, which is a form of a rectangle. Anyway, it's just a rectangle where all the lengths are the same. So these are all the possibilities of my rectangles. Let's look at what happens to the area then. Well, the area of each of these rectangles is going to be very different. Because how do we get the area? The area we get by length times breadth. So here we get an area of 11 times 1, which is only 11 centimetres squared. Okay, we've got a very long, skinny rectangle. It's 11 centimetres long and it's only 1 centimetre wide. It's going to take a lot of fence to go around there, and we're not going to get very much. If this was metres instead, our horse would not get very much grass to eat, would it? Would be a very skinny horse after a while. What about our next rectangle then? Here we'd have an area of 10 times 2, 20. Now it's looking a little bit healthier, our horse. So just 1 centimetre reduction makes quite a big difference difference to area. Look, now we've got 20 centimetres squared here, which it's not drawn very well, sorry. Should be something like that. This one, 3 nines, 27 centimetres squared. So changing it to 3 nines, it's increasing the area even more. We're getting 27. 8 fours are 32 centimetres squared. We're getting quite a nice big area now. 7 fives are 35. So the change is not as big now for every one. Here we had a change of plus 9, then plus 7, then plus 5, then only plus 3. And here going from 35 to 6 sixes are 36 centimetres squared. So the difference in area between a 7 by 5 rectangle and a 6 by 6 square isn't actually very big. So now we can see what sort of field would you like to build for the same amount of fence, assuming this was meters instead, 24 meters in perimeter. I'd much rather put my horse in a field where it got 36 square meters of grass to eat compared with 11 square meters of grass to eat. And you can do the other way around as well, going from an area and trying to work out what the different lengths could be of that rectangle. But this, I think, is the most structured way to do it, and the one that in a test would give you the most points. That you're starting at one extreme, 11-1, and working down in a structured and organised manner. Okay. Did you get it?